Respect is earned, we can expect return if we can. Correct and learn. Let's bring about change and show them their worth. Pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Pray for the ones that we got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Though it may not come today, we're gonna be okay. Pray for the ones that we've got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Full circle, come around and round. Yeah, yeah. Full circle.
It's their boat.
It's their boat, you know, with the rules.
Full circle in the house.
Hey, make it. Hey, just glad to be here, first off. And secondly, you know, thanking God for
Life.
health and strength and life. I ain't feeling my best, but you know what? Full circle gotta keep rolling.
We gotta keep the ball rolling.
We gotta keep rolling. And today, we have our big second interview, man. Hey, listen, this brother here really gotta give kudos to him and what he's doing here in Georgia. So this is gonna be our second interview, but you gotta handle this one, and I know you get it.
So that's what I'm gonna talk a little bit real quick for us about our sponsorships, and he's definitely numero uno on the list.
Big man.
So Baseless Loaded Prospect Academy, owner by Juan Nieves. That's what I'll be visiting this afternoon when I head down south, way down in the bushes, as they will say, way down in the boondocks. Okay, he's one of our newest sponsors on our list of sponsorships that we have, and we would like to welcome him and thank him for all his support. Secondly, I would like to also thank Nelson Baseball School, known as NBS. Without these guys, none of this would really be possible with all of the travel ball and the academy stuff that we're doing. Thirdly, I'd like to also thank the Virgin Islands Baseball Federation, run by the president, Mr. Dennis Brown. I thank them for their continued support in the past and the future.
10-4. And you know, one of our big sponsors, here in the United States is the Liberty Family Foundation.
Yeah.
They really put a great effort forward in assisting us to do our event down in the Virgin Islands the past 2 years, and we want to keep that approach with them and moving forward and assisting the children of the Virgin Islands, and we thank them for their sponsorship. Next is, one of the best organizations in the Virgin Islands, Department of Sports, Park and Recreation.
100%.
Commissioner Calvert White, kudos to you, brother, and doing an excellent job, and your staff. They say you're only as good as your staff, and your staff is excellent. They've been great in assisting us in the past. Continue doing what y'all are doing.
100%.
Next is it's time for bashment in the Virgin Islands. It's carnival time, the festival committee, and the VI tourism is the big kudos to them and doing a great job and always looking out for all the entities in the States to help get those individuals home to see what we do and promote our culture. We want to thank them as well. And then last but not least, all I could say is hola. If you want to purchase, sell a home in Georgia or Florida, you need to contact Unica Realty. Listen, Dr. Yamelsa, Robert and her team are excellent.
Excellent.
When I relocated to Georgia, jump on the phone, Yami, what you saying? I got you juice, don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna take care of you. And she did that, gave me all the information I needed to get the ball rolling. Check out Unica Realty. But we big up everybody. Now it's time to roll out and check my boy.
For sure.
We gotta go see him. But you gotta go see him.
For sure.
Well, look, we out, man. Let's go. Hey, have a safe trip. Safe trip on the road.
All right, big boy.
For the ones that we've got and blessed by the ones that we've lost. Yeah, yeah. Full circle, come around and round. Yeah, yeah.
Yo, what you say, my boy? Oh man, blessed, good to see you, man. Hey, yo, guess what? Full circle performance in the house. The door, as you know, here with my man John Snow. if you speak in Espanol, ya Nieves, here with, guess what? Full bases loaded prospect in the Yard Academy in the house. Well, let's, guess what? Hey, yo, listen, this is a special thing for me right here, my boy. Okay? I am in a, people gotta understand, when they get, I'm gonna do some videos, I'm gonna put out some pictures. I am in a state of the art, hitting baseball, softball, hitting facility. Okay?
I like to call it development center.
There we go, there we go. We're out here in Carrollton, Georgia. We're about to do a little rap session. This is how we're going to call it, because I'm here with my homeboy. So this is, we just here rapping, vibing, talking some good stuff. Yep. And for me, it's some big things going on here with this young man here, man. I'm going to have this man here tell you his story, because he has a story behind all of this. I am so impressed with what you're doing here, man. I mean, like, knowing like you took a vision and an idea and made it into a reality. Because a lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk. And absolutely, this is what you're doing. So
oh, life is all I can swear. Love and life, Rastafari protect the eye. Most I rule them all. Seek Jah first and everything come after. All your sorrows and trouble disappear. No one knows the coming of the master. Keep forgetting Jah is always there.
So here we are, man. So listen, man, I'm gonna just ask you some questions, man, because it's, for me, we need to know, the people need to know, first of all, what inspired you, or how did you get to this point of actually creating this creation right here? I hear sitting down for in full effect in your, I'm gonna call it your lab.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'm gonna let you do the talking and tell me how this whole thing came about, my brother.
You know, from St. Croix, Virgin Islands, US Virgin Islands, you know, of course, we love the game of baseball. So absolutely. This has always been a dream of mine to one day have a spot where I can come and walk the kids out, or develop some kids from ground up. Okay. Whether they ever played baseball before, or whether they're experienced already. So when I was going to school in 2007, 2008, I kind of wrote it down on a piece of paper and said those were my long-term goals, was to have an indoor facility. When I started the program in 2017. This was one of the things that was missing from our program. Was to have
so we're talking about you having this dream or this goal from 2008. So there was a gap in between.
The gap in between, I was working with other programs. I was working with a guy. We had a program on this side of town named Southeast Baseball. Okay. I worked with that for a little while, and then I ended up joining the national program, Team Elite. I worked with Team Elite for quite some time, and it was just too far of a drive for me every week. I would do that two, 3 days a week. So I still had kids on this side of town that needed my service.
Right, right.
I decided to take a leap of faith and started the program in 2017.
Okay.
And in 2017, our first trials, we only had like 6-7 boys at least. And from there, 2017, 2018, 2019, it grew to 3 teams. I had 15, 16, I had a 16-year-old team, 17-year-old team, and an 18-year-old team. And of course, COVID here came.
Right.
COVID threw everything away, and I fell into a little depression. I stopped watching baseball. Stopped, dealing with anything baseball. I stopped training kids. Which
Wow.
It kind of hurt, you know what I mean? Because that's the one thing I loved was baseball. So it seemed like I didn't have it.
So you really been down and out. So I could say you came full circle back to this point.
Yeah, full circle.
There you go. See, this here gonna always come full circle. That's how we have to kind of do it. You know what I mean? So that's pretty interesting, man. So I mean, even in terms of like, how did this come about now? Like, how did you find this place, or what brought you here? Like,
well, one day I was riding on this same road here, and I just seen the sign. I wasn't really looking for no building.
Okay.
I seen the sign, and I just decided to give it a call. I said, hey, I would love to, check the building out. And the guy came, and when he came, we walked in, and from the time I walked in, I seen the whole vision right off the cuff.
Wow.
And what's so funny is, in the paper what I wrote down 3,000 to 10,000 square foot. And God, I would love for God to give me that. He ended up giving us 8,500 square foot, which is awesome.
And I mean, people, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some videos, some pics of the place, because this is an awesome layout, man. I mean, he got everything you need in here. He got like 3 cages. I mean, he got everything you need in here. 4?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
I take one and I push it back so we can do ground balls. And
space galore, space galore. You can come in, you can take infield, outfield, pitching, hitting, whatever is needed.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, so listen, man. Hey, for me, again, coming from small island of St. Croix, a Virgin Islander, that made something like these are things that usually around here our local people do. You usually working for people.
100%.
You employ, you about to be employing people. You running your own shop, your own way. So I am 100% impressed with what you're doing, man. And I know for sure this thing here will rise to heights that you yourself don't even understand.
Yeah, if God is involved, anything is possible.
And like you said, man, I talked to you about something that the people gonna find out in a minute. I ain't gonna really talk about it. You have so much great things in store that people are gonna come to find out. So I'm gonna definitely be keeping up and also to I do my little hitting instructions. I gotta come up there at some point and spend some time with my man, see what's going on, and get cracking with this thing.
You remember me and you when I was with Team Elite, you and Nelson.
That's right.
When we first meet.
That's right.
You competing, we competing. I like
yes, sir.
His voice sound like he from home. Like.
Yeah.
Like, yo, big brother.
Just so.
Just like
Spotted up just so, man.
100%. It's just about the kids, you know what I mean?
100%.
Developing the kids, that's all I care about. Money is a piece of paper that come and go.
Right.
But the development and the life lessons you teach these kids, lots of them.
Right. So tell me, in terms of the facility, what type of services you have going on? Like what type of events you have going on? Things you want to do?
Yeah, so in this area, which is the lobby area, we do, we host parties here, banquets, stuff like that in this area. I do private lessons on that side. We also can host teams. Teams can come in here and get our hour work in. We can set up stations for the teams. We can do 5-6 stations. I have basketballs, small wiffle balls, weighted balls, front toss, live pitching. We can do a few different things. We got agility. I also got a guy that me and him been in some talks, Continuum Fitness. He'll be doing all our speed and agility stuff.
Okay, good.
So hopefully in the future we can make some stuff work. Softball, we've been in some talks with University of West Georgia softball girls.
You mentioned that they're not so far from you.
Right, it's about 5 minutes away from here. So
okay.
So hopefully that can work out and we can start bringing in some softball girls.
Perfect. Well, hey man, live exclusive interview with my man.
Little children beware, the time is now, time is now. 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 Time is now. Hey, life is simple, so don't you complicate it. Do good and watch your blessing follow through. Your 10 commandments, don't you break it. Doing bad and have the youths to follow you. Love is the fundamental basics. Don't you get caught up in the matrix. Conquer your fears and face it.
Yeah, so hey, we are just rapping a little bit about what's going on in the Virgin Islands in terms of the level of baseball that's being played, taking a look at maybe some of the issues, where the game is at, where the game needs to be, maybe some of the areas that could be improved, just things that could be done in terms of bringing the level of play back up, because that's the thing, the level of play has shrunk so much, and it's not for one particular reason. People talk about COVID, which has to do with it, but after COVID hit, a lot of things went on. But even before COVID, because you remember now, got hit by 2 hurricanes, 5 hurricanes. We sort of forced things down. You know what I mean? And then also too, another thing too for me is like just times have changed in islands now. In terms of kids. You know, kids aren't out and about as much as they used. So everybody in the house plays video games and so on and so forth.
We used to be outside all the time.
Outside batting raps, playing striker man.
Anything.
You understand?
Anything
Like we constantly were staying active, and then also too, it just was naturally competitive.
Yeah, 100%.
People
We would do it.
competitive.
We would do it in school too. We would do it in recess. You know what I mean? We play baseball anyway.
Like what I tell people, think about it. Before you came to Little League, you could have probably done hit, throw, and feed. You didn't come to the park to learn that. You learned that playing against older guys in the neighborhood, your friends, Juan. Where more than likely you get recruited at 8, 9 to come to join a team. It's not like that anymore. He's coming to the park now to learn how to play the game. So my thing is, in hindsight, not trying to knock what's going on though, you know, but how can we improve on the game? Because you have down there, you have to do things different.
For sure. Because we see it up here. We see the travel ball wall, and we see how fast paced that is.
Right.
You know, and just training the kids. That's the main from the ground. Taking a kid that don't know how to catch, don't know how to hit, and teaching them the real fundamentals of baseball and to catch a ball.
See that word you use right there is a word that is not seriously taken into, I don't want to say taken into consideration, but in the Virgin Islands, we call it coaching.
Yeah.
Everybody, we have coaches, meaning we bring 10, 15 man on a field and we walk them out. And we hit them ground ball and we show them BP. And that's how they have to learn the game. We don't take time to train.
Right.
Okay? Because development training starts at an individual level. Sometimes you could do it at the team concept, but you have to be able to pull people on the side and have different drills and work them. And that's the biggest issue down there. It's training.
But that was one of the goals. That was one of my goals. It's still one of my goals is to have an indoor facility, home where you could do individualized training inside, or because of course the sun hot sometimes, and I don't want to go outside and work out.
Right.
Too tough. But having an indoor facility home is still one of the biggest goals for me.
Right.
As far as that. So.
Right. Speaking of that, I mean, that really is the crux right there because they don't have the facilities and the resources down there in terms of being able to train. Because, like up there, I mean, you talk about hitting.
Right.
What we're going to take and throw 15 ball, hit it on the feet, go pick them up, bring them back. You need some kids, a facility to be able to get work in. Right, whether private work, and that's one of the major issues down there with both islands. You don't have no facility in place. Nobody has gotten to the point where they say, hey,
Let's do it.
you need to do something and let's put this in place. I guarantee you, once that's done, it's going to transform the place.
Right, and it takes the youth too, to bring the youth inside, get the youth something to do.
Right.
Get them a fun spot to be.
Right.
Whatever it is, make it fun in the inside for the kids. You know what I mean? You don't want them to come in here and just say, well, I have to come in here just to work. No, you want it to be fun as well. Put some games in there, put some pool tables, put some different things in there to occupy the kids. It will help in the long run as far as the violence and so forth.
Right.
So, yep, one day.
So yeah, it's gonna happen, man. I mean, kudos to all that's involved in baseball right now, trying to build it back up.
Oh, for sure.
On the Little League level, RBI. So we ain't here to be knocking our coaches and our local.
We just want. I want to be a part. I always wanted to be a part. From 2012, I've reached out to many different people and trying to bring kids up here, which I was successful a couple times in bringing some kids up here, staying with us for the summer, and letting them showcase their talent on a national level. So that was always my goal.
Right.
And, some people didn't respond back, but I had a couple that really was for the kids, and they helped us out.
Well, you definitely have helped some big guys, some guys that right now, putting the eye on the map in terms of baseball.
But we don't not gonna talk about that. God is love.
Yeah.
You know.
And as well as you know, this is something that I've been doing for quite a number of years as well, bringing guys up to take part and play on Nelson Day Bar, travel team. I've been doing it before I started my company. For soccer, but then when I started it, I kind of brought in and put it in part of our annual package to bring kids up. We'll be bringing some guys up this year as well to play summer ball. So I got two guys playing 16. I think last year I had about 4 guys playing 15. So I was not able to bring anybody up because I coach 15.
Oh, got you.
But I have 2 guys coming up with 16. And also too, one of my plans is to maybe I could get you involved and we were willing to do it. One of my things I want to start doing under the company's name is going down there in November and doing a showcase on both items.
Oh, I don't.
Okay? So what we kind of trying to do is let people to give them create opportunities. Create an avenue where people know like, hey, this is something you could look forward to. Be able to come up and play ball in the summer. I want to mention though, I want to be clear about not trying to steal players and take them away from the local stars and stuff. I'll give you an example, like last year we had a couple guys went back from playing ball up here in the States to play in the RBI All-Stars.
Okay, got you.
So things like that could be worked out. Because at the end of the day, we just want these guys to play as much competitive baseball and get as much reps in as possible. And that's great because then they can go back and represent the islands more ready.
For sure.
So yeah, definitely.
It's just a different game. It's just a different game here. And if everybody, if everybody could come up here and see, like, the things that go on at Lake Point, the things that go on at East Cobb, you know what I mean? It's just a different game. And I would just love as well to have tournaments down there. I know you guys do that stuff too, so that's awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, we will be collaborating.
Yeah, sure.
Man. 100%.
I'm down for that.
100%.
I'm down for that. So,
it's all about love for the PI, man. We doing this. I don't have to speak for you, but I know how I feel and what's in my heart is the same with you. It's hard boys back down to Virgin Islands base, but we doing everything we're doing with our mind and our soul back home.
Facts.
100%.
That's a fact.
100%.
Yes, sir. Well, I enjoy it, man. I appreciate you coming on again, like I said. I appreciate you taking the time to put us on your platform, to elevate what I have going on, to show the people that it is possible, dreams do come true. That's right. So, one love again.
Life is simple, so don't you complicate it. Do good and watch your blessing follow through. Your 10 commandments, don't you break it. Doing bad and have the youths that follow you. Love is the fundamental basics. Don't you get caught up in the matrix. Conquer your fears and face it. The time is now. Time is now. 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 Time is now. Rastafari glorious. Jah people victorious. Rasta you're glorious. Lead the way and keep showing us. Jah you're glorious. Jah you them victorious. Rasta you're glorious. Oh, 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 oh. Jah children rally around the red, gold and green. Don't grow old and mean. Pressure. The time is now.